It is Saturday, the 12th of October, 2024. My name is Pigeon Rose, and this is my song of the day. It's day 6 of Life is Strange week. We've gone past the days that the game takes place during. So for these last 2 days, I'm doing songs that are across all the episodes, or across multiple episodes, rather. So the soundtrack for this game was done by a guy named Jonathan Morali. He is a French composer, singer-songwriter, and he performs under the name Syd Matters, which is also the name of his band. It's derived from a corruption of Syd Barrett and Roger Waters' names from Pink Floyd. Don't worry about it. So, I don't remember if I mentioned before, but the crew who made Life is Strange are French, so naturally they hired a French musician to make the soundtrack for this game. And naturally, they used some already existing Syd Matters songs on the soundtrack. So today, we're going to be talking about To All of You, which is the first song you hear in the game, actually. It plays over the opening credits. And tomorrow, we're going to talk about a different Syd Matters song that is in this game. But today, it's To All of You, so let's go listen to it now and then come back in a few minutes and talk about it. There it is. That's To All of You by Syd Matters from the album Someday We Will Foresee Obstacles, which will be relevant tomorrow. You'll understand that title. Anyway, so this song, I love the guitar in this song. I mean, that's the main part of it, but it immediately strikes up this kind of folksy feeling of it's kind of this rambling feel to it. It's not like really fast paced, but it's not slow. It's a good song to walk to, which is of course what Max does. This isn't really a spoiler. The opening sequence of the game, there's like a vision, so to speak. You have the first scene in the classroom, and then you go outside after class is done. Max puts in her earphones and walks down the corridor as the credits come up on screen, made by Don't Nod, published by Square Enix. And this song is playing in Max's ears, so it's playing in the player's ears as well. And it really sets the mood for the game, I think. It's a really nice song, really soft, but also touches on some interesting, not entirely happy themes. So it's an interesting kind of setup for like the kind of character Max is and the kind of story it's about to tell. Now, it does show up again in the game, as I mentioned. It's kind of a spoiler, but not really. I'm just not going to give you the context, but basically there's like a weird dream sequence in the final episode of the game, and this scene from the opening of the game plays in reverse. So you're walking down the corridor, but everyone else is moving backwards. And the whole thing in this game is reversing time. So when you reverse time in this dream sequence, everything goes forwards. And what I love about that is that the song is playing backwards. So when you reverse time, the song plays forwards. I enjoy that detail. I very much enjoy that. Anyway, let's talk about the song itself. So the song is a criticism of how media gives women unrealistic body standards. Yeah, baby! Not even just body standards, but just standards in general, and tells them how to behave in a really weird and insidious way. Specifically American girls being taught this by Hollywood. So, to all of you American girls, it's sad to imagine a world without you. American girls, I'd like to be part of the world around you, driving a car by the seaside, watching the world from the bright side. So the first verse is like, this outsider perspective saying like, oh, all the American girls in the movies are so attractive and living their best life and driving a car by the seaside, and it's this beautiful image, and I'd love to be part of that world. And then we get the second verse, to all of you American girls in the movies, no one can tell where your heart is. American girls like dollies with shiny smiles and plastic bodies. I wish I had an American girlfriend. So this is really interesting here. To all of you American girls in the movies, no one can tell where your heart is. So on the one hand, I think the main implication of this line is it's hard to tell what someone's true intentions are, what their true ideas are. No one can tell where your heart is, where you're putting your heart. But it also makes it sound like it might be saying like no one can tell you what to do with your life. No one can tell you where your heart is, where to put your heart. That's not likely what's intended, but it is something I kind of hear in it as well, you know what I mean? American girls like dollies with shiny smiles and plastic bodies. So on the one hand, if there's a comma there, it would make complete sense. American girls like dollies with shiny smiles and plastic bodies, saying that American girls are like these plastic dolls. Like think of an American Girl doll or a Barbie or something, shiny smiles and plastic bodies. It's fake. This fake appearance that they put on because that's what they're told is beautiful, or at least he's saying that that's what he sees in the movies. American girls that are like dolls. They're just this perfect image that's images presented and they don't have any uniqueness to them, right? But on Genius, which I know isn't the isn't the be all and end all, but it is where I get my lyrics from, unless they're incorrect. There's no comma. And it could just say American girls like dollies, like they like dolls with shiny smiles and plastic bodies. And so it's still giving the same message in a different way. It's just saying that they idolize these ideals that are unrealistic, right? And then ending the verse with, I wish I had an American girlfriend. So he's kind of acknowledging the irony of it. He's kind of saying like, this beautiful image is presented and it's false and incorrect. And I wish I had someone who was like that, right? And then the final verse, it gets a bit softer. I cry sometimes. He gets a little string. I cry sometimes, walking around my own place, wondering why she cries sometimes, talking about her own place. Somewhere around the mountains, no one could dry her fountain, till she got tired to complain. That's when I fly to the wild land, to your land. So it sounds like here, he has gotten an American girlfriend, and he is confused why she is not as enamored with America as he is. It is how it reads to me, you know? I cry sometimes walking around my own place, wondering why she cries sometimes, right? So he's like, he feels for her. He's upset that she's upset because he cares. Talking about her own place. So she cries talking about her own place, which could be her missing it, but it could also be this kind of deep-seated, depression's maybe the wrong word, but like the kind of trauma of having this American upbringing that has warped her ideals. You know, somewhere around the mountains, no one could dry her fountain till she got tired to complain. Dry her fountain presumably is saying dry her tears, right? She lives like in the mountains of America, like Appalachia or something, and no one around there would stop her from crying because they're used to it as well, and it's just how it is, till she got tired to complain, you know? She just eventually stopped complaining. That's when I fly to the wild land, to your land. So now he's saying, I want to go see it myself. It's an interesting kind of thing to have this song about a French man being enamored with American girls, especially because it's on the soundtrack of a game made by French men writing about American girls. So it's fitting, you know. I think this song very much applies to Victoria from Life is Strange, the whole kind of veneer of being the popular girl hiding a deeper hurt and insecurity, you know. Anyway, I think that's all I pretty much have to say about it. I do want to say there's a performance that Syd Matters did of this song on Les Cargots, which is a French music sessions YouTube channel, and I believe that's how I discovered them, and there's some really good sessions on there, so I mean, not a bad idea to check out. What was there's a cover of I Put a Spell on You. I don't remember who it's by, but it's really good, like an acoustic cover of it. Yeah, no, there's some good stuff on there. Anyway, I think that's going to be it for this song, so thank you so much for listening. Please hit like, hit subscribe, leave a comment down below, tell me what you think, tell other people about this show. Thank you so much for listening, and I will talk to you tomorrow.
Break it down.
I'd love to be part of that world. Part of your world. Walking around on those, what do you call them? Feet. Ha ha. Shiny smiles and plastic bodies. It's fake. It's a fake. Oh, I don't think there's been too many Star Trek references on here, but here we are. It's a fake.